Hello, I'm Father Joe Roesch of the Marian Fathers of the Immaculate Conception. Thank you for joining us as we continue with our year-long journey, reading the diary of St. Maria Faustina Kowalska from beginning to end. Today we take up from where we left off, beginning with diary entry number 1224. Seventh day. Today bring to me the souls who especially venerate and glorify my mercy, and immerse them in my mercy. These souls sorrowed most over my passion and entered most deeply into my spirit. They are living images of my compassionate heart. These souls will shine with a special brightness in the next life. Not one of them will go into the fire of hell. I shall particularly defend each one of them at the hour of death. Most merciful Jesus, whose heart is love itself, receive into the abode of your most compassionate heart the souls of those who particularly extol and venerate the greatness of your mercy. These souls are mighty with the very power of God himself. In the midst of all afflictions and adversities, they go forward, confident of your mercy. These souls are united to Jesus and carry all mankind on their shoulders. These souls will not be judged severely, but your mercy will embrace them as they depart from this life. A soul who praises the goodness of her Lord is especially loved by him. She is always close to the living fountain and draws graces from mercy divine. Eternal Father, turn your merciful gaze upon the souls who glorify and venerate your greatest attribute, that of your fathomless mercy, and who are enclosed in the most compassionate heart of Jesus. These souls are a living gospel. Their hands are full of deeds of mercy, and their spirit, overflowing with joy, sings a canticle of mercy to you, O Most High. I beg you, O God, show them your mercy according to the hope and trust they have placed in you. Let there be accomplished in them the promise of Jesus, who said to them, I myself will defend as my own glory during their lifetime, and especially at the hour of their death, those souls who will venerate my fathomless mercy. Eighth day. Today bring to me the souls who are in the prison of purgatory, and immerse them in the abyss of my mercy. Let the torrents of my blood cool down their scorching flames. All these souls are greatly loved by me. They are making retribution to my justice. It is in your power to bring them relief. Draw all the indulgences from the treasury of my church and offer them on their behalf. Oh, if you only knew the torments they suffer, you would continually offer for them the alms of the Spirit and pay off their debt to my justice. Most merciful Jesus, you yourself have said that you desire mercy, so I bring into the abode of your most compassionate heart the souls in purgatory, souls who are very dear to you, and yet who must make retribution to your justice. May the streams of blood and water, which gushed forth from your heart, put out the flames of the purifying fire, that in that place, too, the power of your mercy may be praised. From that terrible heat of the cleansing fire rises a plaint to your mercy, and they receive comfort, refreshment, relief in the stream of mingled blood and water. Eternal Father, turn your merciful gaze upon the souls suffering in purgatory, who are enfolded in the most compassionate heart of Jesus. I beg you, by the sorrowful passion of Jesus, your Son, and by all the bitterness with which his most sacred soul was flooded, manifest your mercy to the souls who are under your just scrutiny. Look upon them in no other way than through the wounds of Jesus, your dearly beloved Son. For we firmly believe that there is no limit to your goodness and compassion. Jesus asks us to bring before him on the seventh day of the novena those who especially venerate and glorify his mercy. He says that they were the most moved with sorrow because of all that Jesus suffered for us. And Jesus also says that they are the ones who entered most deeply into his spirit. The Paschal mystery of Christ is the model for all of our lives. We will all have to endure our share of sufferings and difficulties in this life, but the suffering won't last forever. Then comes the dying, and this can take on different forms. It can be an actual martyrdom, or a slow martyrdom, or a dying to ourself and to our own will so that we can do the will of God. And then a resurrection, a rebirth, a new life, a springtime. This can come after we actually die, when we go to heaven, or it can take place in this life after a conversion, like that of St. Paul or St. Augustine, who began to live a completely new life here on earth. We want to become living images of Christ's compassionate heart, and that's why we want to enter deeply into his spirit, to become like him. Jesus promises to defend us, especially at the hour of death, if we venerate and glorify his mercy. On the 8th day, we bring the souls in purgatory to Jesus, which he calls a prison. Now, purgatory won't last forever. It's a time of purification. It's a preparation for heaven. But we can do our preparing while we are here on earth, and that would be better. We won't have to deal with regrets and lost opportunities if we live as the Lord asks us to live during this lifetime. So let's always remember to pray for the souls in purgatory, especially those of our families and our loved ones. Jesus says to use the treasury of the indulgences of the church to pray for the souls in purgatory, and we can do that by offering prayers and sacrifices and suffering for them. The greatest prayer that we can offer for our deceased loved ones is the Holy Mass. So to have Masses said for the ones who have gone before us is a great gift.